How you doing, guys, and welcome to my episode 4 review of the Derek Jeter documentary, The Captain, on ESPN ESPN Plus. This episode was so emotional and very sentimental as it gets because this episode started off with the devastating impact and the horrific outcome of the 9/11, two World Trade Center, the Twin Tower falling down, America's being attacked, and it was very, very horrific event. And what happened to that day, people lost their loved ones. They're trying to find in that chaotic financial district. Then there were the Yankees there to try to go out there to ask and approach the people who lost their loved ones, trying to find them, and they're doing everything they can to get over the hump of this horrific event and attack that was being made to America. It was so horrifying to watch. Then a week later, the Major League Baseball resumed. Then the Yankees, they were not just playing for the fans or for the team or for the brandy. They're playing for the city, and they try to give the people sense of normalcy and trying to have a healing process to it by playing baseball and representing not just the city but the country. A lot of people rooted for the Yankees, especially that year. Then that Yankees team, 2001 Yankees team, they were Asian team. That's was their last chance for going for another World Series run. They won the division, but when they moved to ALDS facing the Oakland A's, they lost the first two games at Yankee Stadium. Then moved to Oakland, where I thought that was the end of it. Then there's the Derek Jeter foot play happen. Derek Jeter foot play, that's one of the unbelievable play as you ever seen from a shortstop. And I love how Sweetie Murdy, the beat reporter of WFAN, detailed that whole sequence. Not just Derek Jeter being right there at the right time, he was being lucky to be there. No, he praised the intellect and his baseball acumen and his all-around smart nature of just Derek Jeter just have this instinct to be there. That play turned that whole series around against the Oakland A's. They won that series in 5 games. Then facing the Seattle Mariners, who broke the Major League wins record in a season, breaking the Yankees record in 1998, 114 wins. The 2001 Seattle Mariners won 116 games, but the old Yankees team was like, hey, we won this series in Oakland. I don't care what kind of record they come with. We're going to try to win this series. And a la that, the Yankees won that series in 5 games, relatively easy. And before going to the World Series, Derek Jeter mentioned about they were playing more than just a game, bigger than just a game. That's what he said it, playing for the city of New York and the country and what happened in 9/11. Then you go to facing the Arizona Diamondbacks, the expansion team. And the Yankees, that was a tough team to face because they're facing tough, gritty Curt Schilling and Randy Johnson. They lost the first 2 games in Arizona. Then moved to Yankee Stadium. Those 3 nights at Yankee Stadium, probably the most electrifying nights during this Yankees run to the World Series in this late 90s Yankees dynasty. Because 2001, it was so different because the Yankees had to come back to win that game in dramatic fashion, including Game 4, Tino Martinez against Byung-Hyun Kim hits a 2-run homer to tie it. Then the Derek Jeter missed a November home run. Even Derek Jeter mentioned he hated facing sidewind pitcher because he couldn't pick up the ball. But he find a way to hit that home run. Series is tied at 2-2. Then the next night, Scott Brosius game-tying home run in the 9th inning. Basically, it's like a mystique revisit again. Won that game, Game 5. It's 3-2. Going back to Arizona, I was like, oh, the Yankees going to win again. Yankees going to win again. But Game 6, and Andy Pettitte got bombed. He was tipping pitches. Yankees got blown out of here. Game 6, now it's Game 7. It's Roger Clemens against Kurt Schilling. It was heated, contested. Game 7, Alfonso Soran, one of the memorable, forgettable home runs. He's hit, give the Yankees the lead. Then a lot of people in that game is like, oh, it's over. And during this episode, a lot of the Yankees appear was like, oh, it's over. It's Mariano Rivera. 6 more outs to go. Hey, it's in the books. Even Jeter said it. It's over. But bottom of the 9th inning happened. Luis Gonzalez ended the series with a walk-off and crushed the Yankees hard. Yankees lost in 7 games. Then this whole sequence I liked when Tom Verducci referenced the whole, after that devastating loss in that World Series, a lot of the Yankees were at peace except for Derek Jeter. Derek was so pissed off. He was so devastated. It was rough. And that offseason, didn't sleep, didn't want to talk to anybody. But other players were satisfied. They were at peace. We won 4 out of 5 World Series. We had this amazing run. It was okay. Derek Jeter was not. He wasn't. And I love that part of Derek Jeter's competitive spirit. Just love it. Then I like when Tom Verducci gave up this quote. It was like never being satisfied with success as much as it's never enough. And he referenced the similarity among Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Derek Jeter. Then I love the timely appearance from Michael Jordan. He appeared in this episode. He appreciated Derek Jeter as a competitor and praised him as the ultimate winner and a multi-winning champion. I love that part. And that's where Derek Jeter is like winning, ultimate winning, hunger for winning. His spirit is there for winning. Then that offseason, it kind of like changed up because George Steinbrenner wanted to like bring in this hired guy, pay this big money to bring in this player instead of like Brian Cashman wanted to like gel with like good chemistry, clubhouse players. That kind of changed the dynamics inside a team. Then it was kind of out of sorts. That's what Buster Olney mentioned in this episode. Then this episode detailed the whole Derek Jeter-George Steinbrenner feud, where George criticized Derek Jeter's off-the-field issues and mysteries around him. But Jeter fired back at them and was like, everything is not true. It was not true for criticizing his lifestyle. And George would criticize Jeter for being a party animal, on and on and on. Then they show this Derek Jeter and George Steinbrenner Visa commercial. I thought that was so funny. Then yet again, Jeter was being called out by the boss again. He's like, what the hell's going to happen? He's like, oh, you're named the 11th captain in Yankee history. Then I love when Derek said he took that responsibility seriously. Try to lead by example, take the time to get to know people that you're leading. I like to operate people privately, but you do what you feel is right to help the team. And this is when Derek Jeter start to lead as the face of the team, face of the franchise. Like in the late 90s, he was part of it, but he was leading too. He was leading. But finally, when he named the captain of the New York Yankees, that's when he led. He was the guy. Then 2003, the in comes emergence of the blood-hated rivalry between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. That year, the first time the Red Sox were a threat to the Yankees. 99, there were just no more Garcia Parra and Pedro Martinez. That's it. But in 03, it's David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez. Still got Pedro Martinez, no more Garcia Parra, Jason Varitek, Trout Nixon. On and on and on. The list goes on and on and on against that Red Sox team. They were the threat to the Yankees for the first time in forever. And they met in a heated, intensifying, blooded 2003 ALCS, the Game 3, Pedro Martinez throwing at Kareem Garcia, then bottom of the inning, Roger Clemens throw near at Manny Ramirez, and Manny Ramirez being an ass clown for react that way. It was not even close. Then Pedro Martinez throwing on Zon Zimmer. That game three was like one of the huge, just absolute zoo. It was an unreal scene, an unreal series. That whole series, it was so highly heated, intensifying, contested series between those two teams. Then goes to Game 7. The Yankees were losing 5-2. Then the mystique comes back on the Yankee side, or more towards the curse of the Bambino side on the Red Sox. Yankees come back and tie it. Then Derek Jeter mentions, like, no doubt, I thought we were going to win that game. Never crossed my mind. We weren't. Why? It's Boston. They find a way to screw up. A lot happened. Aaron Boone home run. The Yankees won that emotional, intensifying 2003 ALCS, but I don't remember the Aaron Boone home run so much because the next series, the Yankees lost. The Yankees lost that series to the Florida Marlins, which to this day, I don't know how they lost to the Marlins. I really don't know. And Jeter said this. If you don't win a World Series, it's a failure. Getting back to a World Series, it's not a success. That's a failure. And that was the whole year where it was championship or bust for the Yankees team. And still, a lot of the fan base in this Yankee fan base describes that way. If you don't win a World Series, it's a failure. I don't know this Yankees team or current Yankees have that kind of standard, but at that time, that was the standard. Then move on to the Alex Rodriguez and Boston Red Sox deal fell apart. The Aaron Boone playing basketball hurt is basically was out for the season. Then the Yankees getting Alex Rodriguez, who's gonna play third base. Then when I hear this, like George Steinbrenner called Derek Jeter that he said we were trading for A-Rod. I don't see have a problem with it. Then Jeter responded, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought Jeter was going to say, I have a problem with A-Rod. What if he said that? What if he said that? Dang, we could have witnessed and imprint a different history in the universe. Then the whole Yankees, Red Sox dynamics the next year could have been different. Could have seen a different result in that very next season. I'm talking about 2004. What happened between the Yankees and Red Sox? Just saying. Then during that A-Rod's introductory press conference, Jeter was kind of bothered by it. He didn't want him to be there, but he has to be there because he is the captain. If the Yankee captain's not there, then a lot of the media is going to ask him, where's Derek? He's still a problem. Does he still have problems with A-Rod? Then this unseen moment between Jeter and A-Rod in 2004, April 20th, at Chicago White Sox, they're playing. It was during the rain delay, and two were at the dugout by themselves. Nobody else was there. A-Rod approached Jeter. Are we good? What's happening? Jeter said, kind of. I don't know. I think at that time, Jeter still had the kind of little grudge over A-Rod because of the whole Esquire magazine interview. Alex Rodriguez dissed and diminished Jeter. So I think at the time Jeter had a no problem with it. And Jeter was worried about it, his job security, because A-Rod is a better player and playing as a shortstop. And that year, I think he had a stretch of like 0 for like 30 something. He was getting booed by the crowds. And to this day, the crowds booing Jeter was so nonsensical. Why you boo the guy who won 4 out of 5 World Series for you? That was total just bogus on that part. But Jeter was concerned about he was about to lose his job. But then I think later on A-Rod says like, hey, I'm here to play third base. I'm not here to play shortstop. That's about it. Then I think that kind of like stale the worriness out of Jeter's heart and his back shoulder. He played well. Then the episode ends there. So this episode was about as emotional in terms of like impact of 9/11, then the emergence of the blood ancient rivalry between the Yankees and the Red Sox, then the what if Jeter responded, I have a problem with A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez probably would not be a Yankee, or probably like different things might have happened that year, and especially between the Yankees and the Red Sox in 2004. So that's about it. So there you have it. That's my review on the episode 4 of the Derek Jeter documentary, The Captain. What do you think about it? Leave your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one, and see you in the next one.